Here now with more, Michael Malice, a North Korea analyst and author of Dear Reader. Michael, good to have you with us tonight.
Thank you, Mark.
What do you make of this whole thing?
Well, the talks have been breaking down for a few days now, as you mentioned earlier. The U.S. sent an advance team to Singapore, and it turned out that the North Korean counterparts were simply refusing to take their calls and to respond to them. So this is not President Trump flying off the handle as he's being portrayed by people on the left. This is him responding to being blatantly disrespected and not having any communications. At a certain point, you have to negotiate, and this is classic negotiation. You punish bad behavior, you reward good behavior. And if they're not going to be returning our calls, at a certain point, he has to draw the line.
All right. So, I mean, what potentially would they agree to? You've got the Libya model on one hand, which is a complete denuclearization, which obviously rankles them, that idea. Then you've got the Iran deal model, right? Where you see sort of an overtime and some agreements, but not an agreement to get rid of everything. What are we going to get here, if anything?
The more the term Libya model is used, the scarier it's going to be for them, because if you look what happened to Gaddafi and how he personally was murdered in the most horrific way, this is something that is of great concern to the Kim family and has been for decades. Kim Jong-il used to show this execution of Romanian dictator Ceausescu to all the party cadres daily, the video, and says, this is what will happen to you if the government falls down. So they're acutely aware of what happens when these totalitarian dictatorships collapse. And the difference between Iran and Libya is there's a partner country here, China. So there's no China vis-a-vis Iran, but there certainly is a China vis-a-vis North Korea, and we have to be concerned with what China wants and what China would allow.
Do you agree with the president, who has a couple of times now said that second meeting that Kim Jong-un went to have with President Xi, something happened there? Is that why those channels shut down?
China certainly has a very strong part to play in all this, and we don't know what's going on here. And frankly, I don't think we should know what's going on here, because so much of this is about allowing Kim Jong-un to save face, if only to force him to do the right thing.
Wouldn't China want the denuclearization of North Korea?
Yes, but they also wouldn't want us to escalate to a total liberalization of North Korea and possible societal collapse, giving them 25 million refugees crossing the river who don't speak Chinese and don't know how to use a computer. Yeah. That's the nightmare scenario for China.
All right. Well, what about, really quick, what about the mountain that collapsed several months ago? Is what they blew up today, was it even usable?
Probably not. And there are reports being that there's radiation coming out from all this other stuff. And, you know, they do not let, just like Rahm Emanuel said, they don't let a good crisis go to waste. So if something's going to be, destroyed, they might as well say, hey, we're doing this because we're the good guys out of the magnanimity of our hearts.
Interesting as always, Michael. Thank you very much.
So much.
Good to see you tonight.